around, I'm seeing some decimals in the correct place, some decimals in the incorrect place. In your groups, what I need to hear is where the decimal goes and why the decimal goes there. You may not tell me how many places to the right. Go ahead and talk about it. I want to know anybody should be able to pull a card.
So we all agree that the decimal is right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but for some reason I don't understand how it's supposed to be like that.
Okay, well, see, this is thousands. The reason why is because it's like what's 1,000 times 10? And like the same thing. There's like 10,000 times. There's like 1,000 times 10. What's 1,000 times 10?
So that means everybody can tell me why. Jonah. You cannot start with because. Jonah, why is that the correct placement? Nice and loud, please.
I think it's the right placement because we have tens and we have thousands, and we have to put it in the thousands place.
So I need to see everybody up here, all eyes up here. George, that includes you. Standard for today. Thumbs up, thumbs down. How are we feeling about it? I need to see. At the end of the lesson, we're not there yet, but when we get at the end, will you understand how to multiply decimals by decimals? I need to see honesty. Jonah, I can't see your thumb. Honesty, I'm giving you a formative assessment on this. Okay, thank you for your honesty back there, Juan. Thumb sideways. So we need to go a little further. I'm seeing a couple of thumbs sideways. Very nice. We'll move on to the next one, hands down. Okay, very good. Okay, boys and girls, today we are going to be reviewing division. We've been working on that for the last couple of days, and so today we're going to add the word divide into our academic vocabulary books. So at the end of this lesson, you are going to be able to describe what the word divide means. So boys and girls, what I want you to do right now in your academic vocabulary books is to write down the word divide. I spell divide, D-I-V-I-D-E. Very good, thumbs down. Boys and girls, I want you to say the word divide. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Divide.
Awesome. If you are the partner sitting closest to the door, please turn to your neighbor and tell them the word divide. 1, 2, 3.
Divide.
And if you are the partner sitting farthest from the door, tell your neighbor the word divide.
Divide.
Everyone, I want to hear the word divide on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Divide.
Awesome. Now, boys and girls, remember we talked about things that you have divided before. On this chart, I told you that I have divided my students before. Raina, do you remember? Turn to your neighbor, please. Give them a big smile. And if you are the neighbor sitting farthest from the door, you are going to go first. Please tell your partner, what does it mean to divide?
Divide is when you take divide is when you take the.
What does the word divide mean? Who can describe the word divide?
To put stuff in equal groups.
Very good. Can you say it in a complete sentence? The word divide.
The word divide means to put stuff in equal groups.
Put things into equal groups. Very good.
We had this job. It said, today I will compare hermit crab's new and old shells, telling what is the same and what is different. And we said we're doing this because this shows that I understand the story Moving Day. So, what I'd like you to do is turn to your partner and tell them what compare means. Remember, compare means telling what is the same and what is different. You guys can hear her. Tell what is the same and compare means telling what is the same. Isaiah, nice job. Something that was the same about both shells. And I want you to say, this was the same. Both shells had, Vladdy? Did you hear him? Both shells had the same stripes, the same green stripes. Excellent. Thank you for using those words too, just like I asked. All right. Well, that part we compared what was the same. We need to go back to our job because we're supposed to compare what is different. So think back, what was different about the shells? Take a minute, turn to your partner, tell them something that is different about the shells.
What is different?
So Belen, what did you tell me was different? Tell me the whole sentence.
That both shells are different because the one had a crack one did.
Did you hear her?
Yeah.
Say it again, nice and loud.
The shells are different because one had a crack and one did.
Awesome. So if I call your name, I want you to say the shells are different because, and tell me the whole sentence. Seth?
The shells are different because one is really and one is not.
Excellent.
You guys remember that we've been talking a lot about standards lately?
Yeah.
Standards. Well, and you all pointed to where we have our math standards that we're working on. Where are our math standards? Oh yeah, in our math area. Okay. Well, in writing class, where do we put our writing standards? All right. Can you find the standard that we are working on these days? Oh, what does that say?
Write a friendly letter complete with the date, solution, body, closing, and signature.
Oh my goodness, what's that word? We don't usually use this word, so we're going to find a synonym. And we're going to change this a little bit. Because some people say salutation, and what do we use instead of salutation?
Solution.
No.
Dear.
Let's see.
Begin.
Date.
Reading.
Body.
Closing.
Signature. What's missing?
Greeting.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, so let's switch that word, salutation, and let's change that to greeting because that's what we use. And remember how we've been trying to use complete sentences?
Yeah.
And when we talk about standards, we're talking about things that we can do. So we're going to add some stuff to our standard that says that we can do this. So we're going to change salutation, and we're going to put greeting. And instead of saying write a friendly letter, we're going to say I can write a friendly letter, right? Because that's the goal that we're going for. I can write a friendly letter complete with the date, greeting, body, closing, and signature. What are we going to write to Anthony? So let's write down our ideas. And this is going to be to keep in touch with a friend, right? So that's the kind of letter we're going to write today. What I want you to think inside your head is something that you want to write to Anthony. And we're going to think about it for about 20 seconds. And you're going to be ready to tell somebody near you one thing that you thought of, okay? thumbs up if you're ready to tell somebody. Okay, I want you to find somebody near you and take turns telling them something you thought of to write in your letter. Okay, what would you like to tell them? What do you think he's going to want to hear about from our side of the world, huh?
did Untitled Chapter.
We should tell them what we're learning in school. Good.
This tragedy has been developing before our eyes. And so what we're going to do today is look at what a classical tragedy looks like according to Aristotle, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. And then we're going to decide whether or not Sophocles is following what Aristotle set up as far as the concept of a tragedy. So if you guys can look back at what our daily class objective is, okay, some of you may have already taken a look at it. We're going to identify the basic elements of a what? Greek tragedy. Do you get to just identify it in The Little Mermaid or Lion King? No, in Antigone, okay? So we're going to take a look at that today and see what it is that Sophocles is doing and decide, is it really a Greek tragedy according to the classical definition? What do we need to do when there's little question marks? We need to change our tone because in Spanish we don't know if it's a question, you know, because it looks just like a sentence. So we have to raise our voice, remember? So if we're going to say, like look where Gloria's last sentence is, where it says nadaste. How would we make that into a question? Nadaste? Right? What about the one, and then the next one says, right next to nadaste, it says without a bathing suit? So how do we change that into a question? Sin traje de baño? Sin traje de baño? Let's try it together. Sin traje de baño. Sin traje de baño. Yo? See? Oh, see, it's even fun. Good. Let's go through.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you guys into groups based on the variety of levels that we've talked about. And in those groups, you're also going to see, you're going to have a packet. And in that packet, you're going to see the specific rubric that's going to be used for this particular timed writing, and we're going to see the samples. We're going to talk a little bit about that rubric, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to analyze those samples. Above or below that, but let's look at the 6 on the rubric. Should be on that first page. It's the
and that the beauty, pageant aspects of presidential debates will somehow be minimalized. Did he say that you have to deliberately come out and state the sources, or
Yeah, he has to.
So this guy,
say
does
that.
have at least 3 sources?
I think he just took ideas from the sources, but he didn't directly say that it was from the source.
He got pretty much all his information from the sources, but he never.
He didn't quote.
So that means, does he get no credit for sources at all?
Thank you. Okay, we have the standard that is 5.0. Okay, please read that little section over. Page 301, please read the standard. Okay, now posted up here it says that students solve multi-step problems including word problems involving linear equations and linear inequalities in one variable and provide justification for each step. Now what we're doing for this standard is we're preparing for a lesson that's going to be farther down the road. Talk in our groups as far as what you think justification means. This is a preparation for getting set for the next lesson. What does justification mean? You've got 1 minute in your groups, please.
I think it's like when you justify something.
I just said that.
Let's look in here for clues.
I think it means something to make something equal, you know? Make it equal.
Okay. Justification is when you're doing like a problem step by step, and at the end you make them both equal to each other. Yeah. With With the properties that you use.
So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be writing some words we already know. We're going to be stretching some words and listening for the sounds and writing what we hear, right? Okay, now I want you to remember when you're sitting back there with Mr. Rosenfield and I, whose job...
Someone get
All
it?
right.
Have it?
No, it belongs to the classroom. Okay? So, my car is something, or cars were something I like to play with my brother. I didn't really have them. My brother had them, and I would...
What toy are you going to write about? I'm writing about my Lammy. Mrs. Rosenfield wrote about a car. Think about what toy you want to write about.
Something you like. What toy
Mrs.
do you
Rosenfield,
like?
after they think of it, can we get them in pairs
We're
and
gonna
they
do
can
that.
talk
That's
about
exactly
the
what
toy that they're going to write about? Put your hand down and give you partners. I'm going to help Mrs. Rosenfield.
So tell your partner, both of you, what toy you like.
So tell your partner what toy you like. No, say what you're
Guys,
going to...
you can talk
Tell
loud.
what you're going to do with it.
Okay.
What's going to happen with the toy in the store? What's the toy going to do? What are you going to do with it in the store? Tell your partner.
And it's from Toy Story. It's
Hey,
Buzz
what are you going to do
Lightyear.
with your truck in the store? Resort.
You run with the car, so you're going to say, I run with the car. Can you try it? There you go. Are you going pretty fast?